Hi. Uh, I know I just did a video a couple days ago. Here's a kitty. Her name's Jenko. She's a good cat. She kind of tweaked out though. But I mentioned at the end of the video that I kind of wanted to do some stuff on what I was like before I was homeless. So, excuse me. That's what I'm gonna do. And I figured I would start out by doing a video on how much of a nerd I am. And if you know me in real life, or you know me, like, you know what I follow on Twitter, you're like, well, yeah, Addie, we know you're a nerd. But, yeah, I'm a massive nerd. My biggest thing over the last several days has been going, and nothing I'm gonna mention is sponsored, too. Like, I don't think with, like, not even 80 subscribers, anyone would want to sponsor me, but, yeah, like, nothing I'm gonna say is sponsored. I have been going on the website ThinkGeek, and oh my god, so much nerd stuff that I love. Like, they have a lot of Doctor Who stuff, which I'm a massive Doctor Who fan. I love my Doctor Who. They have a lot of Firefly, which I love Firefly. It was a great show in 2002? Yeah, 2002. That Fox screwed up by canceling because they aired the episodes out of order, and then the show just went. But then we got the big damn movie. So, perks on that. But anyway, yeah, and so I've been a nerd my entire life. Like, I have Pikachu tattooed on me. Hey, if that's not nerdy, I don't know what the hell is. But one thing that I used to do a lot, was go to sci-fi conventions, and I realized this while talking to, like, friends of mine who haven't been to sci-fi conventions. When you're trying to explain a sci-fi convention to somebody, oh my god, you sound like an insane person. And I even told my mom that, like, I sound insane trying to talk to people about sci-fi conventions. There was, last conventions, I went to 2 in 1 year, was back in 2016. I went to, MiniCon, which was a smaller sci-fi convention, and, there I had so much fun. With conventions, like, everything ends in, like, con, or it's somehow convention or connected to the convention somehow. Like, at MiniCon, there was a suite, poolside suite, which amazing, that was full of food for anybody to eat that was part of the convention. And it was called Con Suite. And they had, they had so much stuff there. It was delicious. Like, they had hot dogs, pretzels, like, breakfast food, breakfast, lunch, dinner. It landed, every year they do it on the weekend of Easter, and that weekend, or at like 2 in the morning on Easter Sunday, there was a full Thanksgiving dinner, which was, that's like kind of the perfect explanation of sci-fi conventions. Like, all the weird things happen. And it was all homemade, it was all delicious, and I met some of the coolest people there. And then there was a BarCon, which is exactly what it sounds like. Open bar. And they were very, very vigilant about, if you're under 21, you did not get alcohol. They had non-alcoholic options. But conventions are like, MiniCon was kind of perfect for when it came to, like, not having to spend a lot of money. I think that whole weekend I spent $6. And that was just because I wanted Dairy Queen. Like, it wasn't even because I wanted, or I just didn't want what they had. But then I was like, wait, I can just get whatever I want here. They had pop, food, alcohol, obviously. And the thing was, it's all 24/7. It's not like oh, Con Suite's open from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. I mean, obviously, we had Thanksgiving dinner at 2 in the morning. It's a 24-hour thing, and that's the thing with conventions, too, is you, is, like, yes, they have events throughout the day, but there's always something to do. And they're also wonderful when it comes to mental health issues. Like, if you start to get a little overwhelmed and somebody notices you're a little overwhelmed, they're like, hey, you want to go outside? You want to go do this? Like, people there actually kind of give a shit, which is awesome. There's Janko again. And they're so nice. And you can talk to pretty much anybody. I mean, like, yeah, there's some people that are a little bit standoffish, but that's kind of the way it is. Like, when I went to MiniCon, there's guests of honor when you go there. And one of the guests of honor her name is Shannon McGuire. She's a really great sci-fi author. I adore her. And she is so personable. And it's funny because I had read some of it. She goes under another name for writing. Like, she has 2 names for writing. And I had read some of her stuff as her other name, but I hadn't read any of her stuff as Shannon. And when you're at conventions, if you're wearing something nerdy, everyone's like, oh, I love that, where'd you get it? And she had on this really pretty Doctor Who dress, and I was like, oh my god, I love your dress. And she goes, oh, thank you, I got it at Torrid. And she was just so personable and so sweet. And then we go to opening ceremonies, and I'm sitting next to my mom and my brothers, and I'm like, Mom, who's that lady wearing the Doctor Who dress? And she goes, that's Shannon, she's the guest of honor. And I went, oh, I met her. And my mom goes, shut up. Wait, what? So it was really fun. And then the second convention that I went to was Worldcon, which is that's a huge one. And that one I had a few issues with, but it was still so much fun. Like, they didn't have Con Suite. Like, they had snack stuff, but it was nowhere near like MiniCon. Like, MiniCon, I was spoiled. But Worldcon, that was in Missouri. So that was also in 2016 when I went. And that was fun. That was a lot of there was a lot of people there, obviously. Like, there were people from all over the world. Like, I made friends who I still talk to who are in Sweden, and who are in England, and who are all over the world. And they're really nice people. And again, the people were really nice, but it was a lot more expensive. And the thing was, too, with MiniCon versus Worldcon, MiniCon is in a hotel, and everything for the hotel, or everything for the convention, is in that hotel. So, like, you don't have to wear shoes, you can wear, like, shorts and a tank top and not brush your hair and look like crap, and you're good. And trust me, MiniCon, I did that. But Worldcon, it was across the street in downtown Kansas City. So it was a little bit farther, and it wasn't as much fun to go to. Like, the people there were still really nice, and if you watch Game of Thrones, George R.R. Martin, who wrote the books, he goes to them every year, and he is the nicest guy. And the one thing I kind of liked a little bit more about Worldcon versus MiniCon, there was BarCon at Worldcon too, but the thing was, with BarCon at the second convention, that one was not free drinks. That one you had to buy your drinks from the bar. And I have a message, and I don't care. I'll message him in a bit. But anyway, so when I went, of course, because my luck, I had lost my debit card right before Worldcon. So I didn't have much money. But, so I would just go to BarCon just to kind of sit around and people watch and the nice thing, and a lot of, like, women are gonna understand this, you know, there were guys that were like, hey, can I buy you a drink? But there was nothing expected of being bought a drink, which, you know, there are, and I will admit, there are a lot of guys who are like, I don't expect anything, I just want you to have fun. But, there are some guys who are like, well, I bought you a drink, but, like, I had because you get a badge at any convention, you get a badge with your name, and, then you can get ribbons underneath it, and I had one that said First World Con. And this one guy saw it, sat down, talked to me, was super sweet about the whole thing, and then he goes, well, you know, are you drinking tonight? And I went, no, I have no money. And he goes, well, come on, I'm gonna buy you a drink. And my first thought was, but then he's like, no, it's in a friendly way. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it was 100% friendly. And then he ran into somebody he knew from a previous Worldcon. And the second guy saw my badge and saw my ribbon, and he goes, put her drink on my tab, and then I'm closing out my tab, gives me a hug, and goes, welcome to Worldcon. Like, super nice guy. And then, yeah, I met George R.R. Martin, which was so cool, so nice, and it was so fun, because I saw him, and, like, not to be like, oh, I've met celebrities before, but, I mean, in Minnesota, I know a good chunk of the hip-hop artists here, and I'm friends with a lot of them, and, you know, I can see him and be like, oh, hey, what up, and, you know, not a big deal, but other people see him, and they're like, oh my god, he's famous. And then there's me, who's like, yeah, whatever. But then I see George, and I'm like, oh my god, that's George R.R. Martin. And this one guy I was talking to goes, well, yeah, that's George, go say hi to him. And I went, I can't do that, he's famous. That's not even a possibility, I can't go say hi to him. He goes, oh my god, okay, come on. So we walk over, and I have to find this picture, because somewhere on the internet, there is a picture of George R.R. Martin talking to two people at Worldcon, and then there's me in the background going, and I need to find it. Like, I absolutely need to. But so then George got done talking to those two people, and then sees the guy that I'm standing with, goes, oh, hey, how are you? And remembered the guy's name. I don't, because my memory is shit. But, yeah, so, you know, they talk for a second, and he goes, oh, and by the way, this is Addie. She was fangirling too hard to come say hi by herself, so I dragged her along, and he laughs and goes, well, hi, Addie, it's nice to meet you. I promise you, I don't bite hard. And I was just like, hi, it's so nice to meet you. And he was nice. He was really, really nice. And yeah, Worldcon was a lot of fun. And I need a sci-fi convention in my life soon, because people like care about you and can talk to you about whatever, and it's great, and you can walk around looking like an idiot and nobody gives a damn, which is awesome, because I like being able to walk around wearing nerdy clothes and cosplaying. Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to make this video because it's been on my mind for a few days, like, looking at all the nerd stuff and looking at conventions and all that. I think after the next video I do, which will just be a general update on life, I think I might do, like, service industry stories, because I've worked in the service industry most of my life, and I've got a few good ones. So if you guys like that idea, thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because I'm going to try to start doing videos a little more often. And yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go pass out, so I will see you guys very, very soon. Stay warm and stay safe.